Hey YouTube, New York Half-Ass Prepper here, coming at you with another gun video. I haven't made one in a while. Just picked this guy up. It just came around by accident. I wasn't really particularly looking for this handgun, but it was offered to me, so I picked it up. And this is probably, excuse me, the rarest of the rare of the Smith and Wesson revolvers. This is a model 53, and if you look at it, it looks just like any other Smith & Wesson revolver. It's a K-frame, 6-inch barrel. It's got the target stocks on it. It's a blued finish. This one's a little beat up. It's a little bit of wear from on the barrel. The bluing is missing. But the unusual thing about this is the caliber that it's chambered in. This is a caliber called .22 Remington Jet Magnum, and a lot of people have never heard of this caliber, and it was one of the failed things that Smith & Wesson tried to do. I don't think it was Smith & Wesson. I think it was Remington tried to come up with this caliber, and basically what it is a neck-down .357 Magnum. And it looks like this. If I can zoom in on that, it's a neck-down .357 Magnum, and it's a .22 caliber bullet, and this is a 40 grain bullet. And it was supposed to reach 2,000 feet per second out of a handgun barrel. However, it never lived up to its expectations, so it became a dead caliber. I think there's one company out there that you could still buy loaded ammunition for, but if you have a reloading press, you can load it yourself. The brass is still available from Graf's, and I think actually Hornady sells dies that you put a .357 piece of brass in there, run it through a couple dies, and you come up with this piece of brass. It necks it down to the appropriate dimensions. So I loaded this up. I have I actually had the dies already, which is unusual, but these are old school Lyman 310 dies. They're real skinny dies, and you need this adapter here to run it in a modern press. I do have an old press, but I couldn't work with it. It was much easier to put it on my Lee turret press and load it up that way. And I'm running, it's a small pistol Magnum primer, or you can put a small rifle primer in there. It's a 40 grain .22 Hornet bullet. It's a soft point, and it's 10.5 grains of 2400 Alliant powder in there. So we're going to shoot this thing today and see how she holds up. But that was the deal. It never really, a couple of police departments bought a couple of them. It was designed to be like an all-purpose gun where you could shoot varmint at long range. It was a nice flat trajectory. It was good for self-defense and so forth, but it never really took off. So it went the way of the white elephant. So being a reloader, I'm not afraid of the unusual caliber. It's not a big deal. I just get the brass and load it up. You know, I'm only going to shoot the thing a couple times a year, hopefully. And it's got this really cool feature here. It has an adjustable hammer. I don't know how this thing works, but I gotta get my thumb on there. There it goes. You flip this little insert on the hammer down, and if you notice in there, there's actually two frame-mounted firing pins. One of them is in the center of the chamber, and that's for the .22 Remington Jet when they're in there, and the other one is for a .22 long rifle, which can be shot out of this gun with a they have cylinder inserts that go into the cylinder, and you could load a .22 long rifle in there and shoot it out. I don't have that, and I think these things actually came with interchangeable cylinders. You could get a .22 long rifle or .22 Magnum cylinder and put it in the gun. So this hammer has a little mechanism, if I can get this thing to operate. There it goes. It flips back and forth. Get that in the shot. It flips back and forth to select which firing pin is going to be struck. Now, you could probably get away with, I think it actually hits both of them, but doesn't hit both of them enough to fire a round. So it's adjustable that way. So I just got this. I'm gonna clean it up some. Probably gonna re-blue it, and this is gonna be added to the collection. So here we are with another gun that you probably never heard of. I'm out. Well, I don't know if you could tell from the shot in the camera, but it's tremendous concussion with this handgun. Well, my reloads work fine. I'm going to go reload these, or reload this brass and work on the next batch.